In today's video, we're going to be talking about trading silver for gold and trading silver for silver just to save room, hypothetically, if we ever needed to.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and staying safe. It's a great day to have a great day. Today, I wanted to talk about silver and whether or not I think it takes up too much room. And if it ever gets to the point where it's taking up too much room for you, there are some options. But really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Brand new video over there, go check it out. The link will be in the description. And if you want to get some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel, I would really appreciate it. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance, it's more than appreciated. But today, I wanted to talk about silver and the amount of room that it takes up. Now, it's not every day that I get a comment from someone saying that they refuse to stack silver because it just takes up too much room. Maybe they have like 16 safes in their house and they're all packed with silver and they're tired of it, or they've run out of room for all of the safes in their house. Number one, before I say anything, please understand that that's an excellent problem to have. And if it ever gets to the point where you feel like you're running out of room for all that money, there's really not much to complain about. But I wanted to talk about this today because there are some options, and there are obviously different levels of purity, different types of silver out there, and you can trade up from one to the other, or you can trade one metal to a different type of metal in order to save space. Now, believe it or not, this video was actually inspired by a comment that I had received, I think just yesterday or the day before. I had posted a video talking about the gold-silver ratio and what it is according to spot price, and also what the ratio is according to spot price plus premiums. Very different ratios. And in that video, I talked about trading one metal for the other, but I didn't talk about trading one metal for the same type of metal. And I had received a comment from Manuel saying, I traded 40% Kennedy halves for 90% constitutional silver. I traded up. So thank you very much, Manuel. You inspired today's video. So sitting over here to the left of me, I have 7 40% silver half dollars. And over here to the right, I have 3 90% silver half dollars. 7 in one hand, 3 in the other. But due to them having different levels of purity, over here on the left being 40% and over here on the right being 90%, each pile of silver in each hand right here equates to approximately, roughly, just about a troy ounce of silver. If you're working with 40% silver half dollars, it would take about 7 to equate to about a troy ounce of silver, and when it comes to 90% half dollars, it would take about 3. So, when it comes to the comment that Manuel left, I thought it was a pretty interesting idea because it's not something that I had ever thought about doing before. Now, granted, it's not something that I would ever really have to think about doing because I don't stack 40%. The only 40% I have is the 40% that I found. And when I say found, I don't mean found at a coin shop or found online. I meant I legitimately found it. It was free. I didn't pay anything for it. I didn't convert my dollars into it. It was discovered. So I took it. I would never turn my back on an opportunity and say,
I'm too good for 40%.
Absolutely not. If I find some silver, I'm going to hang on to that silver. And if I find silver online or at a coin shop for a really good deal, I wouldn't turn my back on that either. So I'm not saying I wouldn't convert my dollars into 40%. I just never have, and I really don't plan on it. I want to stick to 90% and up. But moving away from that, I wanted to talk about this today because I thought it was a really interesting concept, and it doesn't have to go for just silver. It can go for gold as well, or it can go for platinum and palladium. I personally don't stack platinum or palladium, and I don't really intend to, but it's definitely an option for you. And I've posted videos in the past about trading silver for gold, including the one I posted just a couple of days ago. But it doesn't just have to be about waiting for the gold to silver ratio gap to close in, because right now the ratio is in the 1 to 60s according to the spot price. It's closer to 1 to 40s or 1 to 50s if you factor in the premiums, but for the sake of today's video, let's just go by the spot price gold silver ratio, which is in the 1 to 60s. Let's leave it at 60, solid number. If you take that 1 to 60 What that means is that, in theory, you could trade about 60 ounces of silver right now for approximately 1 troy ounce of gold. And you can do this a variety of different ways. You can do this at your local coin shop. You can do this with other members in the community, which, by the way, we actually talked about this last night during the VIP Club live stream. If anybody's interested in joining, by the way, I'll leave the link in the description. Live streams, giveaways, discounts, personalized promo codes, and a ton of other things if you want to join. But we talked about this during the live stream. If you're going to sell, or if you need to trade, or if there's anything that you really have to do with your precious metals, if you need to liquidate for any reason, maybe you just want to, or maybe you absolutely have to, maybe you're in a rough situation financially and you have no choice, I guess you can say. We talked about this last night, and we had gone over the importance of going to the community first rather than rushing on over to the local coin shop, which I guess one could argue is part of the community to begin with. But a lot of people sell their silver online to people that they don't even know. If you have a network of people in your life that are also stacking the precious metals, or even the online community, if you have some friends, you can call them friends, that you know simply because of YouTube or simply because of Instagram, you can make some transactions with them. And if they are unwilling to or unable to convert their dollars into your silver, then go and convert it any other way. But go to the community first, if you can. That's my suggestion anyway. But when it comes to trading silver for gold, if the ratio right now is where it is, about 1 to 60, let's just say, you could take about 60 ounces of silver and trade it for about 1 ounce of gold. But it doesn't have to go exclusively for those numbers. You can actually break it in half. You can take, let's just say, 30 ounces of silver and trade it for a 1/2 of a troy ounce gold coin, round or bar. Or instead of 30, you could trade about 15 troy ounces of silver for potentially a 1/4 ounce gold coin, if that's what you want to do. Or even further, you can take a measly little 6 ounces of silver and trade it for about 1/10 of an ounce of gold. Again, as I said, I'm going by the spot price. I'm not factoring in the premiums. You gotta have to play with the numbers a little bit if you want to get a more specific number. But it's just an example. Something that you can do if you ever get to the point where you need to make space. Because, let's be honest, most of the people who watch my videos, including the guy who films my videos, me, believe that silver is the opportunity metal. They see more room for growth, more room to perform over time. I personally believe that it would be a whole lot easier for the spot price of silver to double than it would be for the spot price of gold to double, because let's be honest, all silver would have to do is go about to $50, which it's already done. We've already seen $50 silver in the past. Metaphorically speaking, if it happened yesterday, it can happen again tomorrow. We already know it's possible because it's already occurred. Gold, on the other hand, it would have to go up to pretty close to $4,000, which is a number that we've never seen. In fact, gold hit a brand new all-time high just last year, and it was only a little bit over $2,000. Silver is nowhere near its all-time high, which is why I believe it has a lot more room to grow and perform over time. I think silver can double a whole lot easier than gold can double. Not hating on gold, I love gold. Gold is a beautiful metal, and gold is what I consider to be the powerhouse metal and the ultimate form of wealth preservation. But I personally believe that there's just a little bit more opportunity in silver, at least right now. And if you were to get to the point where you were running out of room because you just have so much silver, number one, it's a great problem to have. But two, the gold to silver ratio gap doesn't necessarily need to make perfect sense. I know there's a lot of people out there who want to wait for the ratio to hit a certain number, myself included. I would be pretty incentivized to trade a little bit of silver for gold if we saw the spot price gold to silver ratio go to maybe 1 to 50 or 1 to 40 or even lower. I don't know if we're going to see 1 to 30 or I don't know if we're ever going to see 1 to 20. It would be nice. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it could. So a lot of people have that mentality where they're waiting it out. But it's also important to remember, sometimes time isn't always on your side. Sometimes you have to do simply what you have to do. Sometimes it's not going to be convenient. Sometimes, let's just say maybe if you are relocating, sometimes maybe you want to prepare yourself for potentially a bug out situation. I don't think anybody is willing to argue that a big, giant, massive safe packed with silver, I don't think anybody's willing to argue that that's an easy thing to carry around, especially when it's been bolted down to the ground. Massive amounts of silver, it weighs a lot. It does take up quite a bit of room, but even more importantly, it's heavy. And if you need to bug out, you might not be able to do it very easily if all you have is an absurd amount of silver and virtually no gold at all. So even though the gold to silver ratio right now might not be an ideal time for me to trade silver for gold or for you to trade silver for gold, somebody out there who has way more silver than gold, maybe they have thousands of ounces of silver and not even a little 1 gram gold bar, no gold at all. And they felt as though their silver was taking up far too much room. They could very easily trade a little bit of silver for a little bit of gold, not to capitalize on the opportunity, but simply to reduce the weight and reduce the bulk. That is something that I've been saying for several years now, and I have never traded any of my silver for gold. I've never traded any of my silver for silver. I've never traded any of my gold for silver or gold for gold. I've never traded away any of my precious metals. Every single coin, rounder, or bar that I've acquired over the last 3 years is still in my possession. I've not traded away anything, and I don't plan on it anytime in the near future. Rather than reducing the weight, reducing the bulk, and trading away my silver for gold, at the moment I just shifted my focus a little bit. Rather than going full throttle on silver, now I'm going about half and half. Not as aggressive on silver, but slightly more aggressive on gold, just because I felt as though I was severely lacking in the gold department, and I think a lot of people can probably align with that. I think a lot of people can say the same about their stack. The amount of silver they have in comparison to the amount of gold that they have, to them just might not make sense. Now, I don't have a personal gold to silver ratio, or I do, I just have no idea what it is. I've never calculated it. But I know that the amount of silver I have in comparison to the amount of gold that I have doesn't make sense. I'm very weak on gold, or at least I was when I first noticed this, and ever since then, I've been loading up on a little bit more gold every chance that I get, and that's what I'm going to continue to do while simultaneously continuing to stack the silver. Now, I've talked about this many times on my channel over the years, and every single time I mention it, I say it as clear and specific as I possibly can, that I'm not insinuating that anybody should be trading any metal for any other type of metal right now. I do not think it's necessarily a good time to do it, although I do think it's a good idea for people who have the need to reduce the weight, reduce the bulk. And it's funny, every single time I say this, every single time I don't instruct anyone to do anything, people in the comments will say,
How dare you tell me to trade my silver for gold? I'm waiting for the gold to silver ratio to go to 1 to 3. It's gonna happen on Tuesday.
Every single time, without fail, there will be someone who somehow figures out a way to misinterpret what I'm saying. Maybe they're purposely misinterpreting what I'm saying just so they have somebody to yell at. I have no idea, but I'm not telling anybody to trade their silver for gold right now. I'm not telling anyone to trade their gold for silver right now. I'm not even telling anybody to trade their dollars for silver or gold right now. I've never told anyone to convert their dollars. I've never told anyone to buy. I've never told anybody to sell. That's not what this channel is about. This channel is about doing your own research, forming your own opinions, making your own decisions based off of your conclusions, not mine. But I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know, what are your thoughts on trading silver for gold? I posted a video just like 2 days ago, and I got so many comments saying pretty much the same thing that I said in the video, that It's just not the right time to trade silver for gold, at least not for me. And according to a majority of the comments that I got, it's not the right time for a lot of other people either. But that's not what we're talking about in today's video. We're not talking about trading silver for gold because the silver opened up an opportunity or the gold to silver ratio gap closed in and we want to capitalize to the best of our ability. That's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about saving space, saving room, reducing the weight, reducing the bulk for a variety of different reasons. Maybe you're just simply weak on gold, like I felt as though I was. And currently, I still feel like I'm weak on gold. And to be honest with you, I still feel like I'm weak on silver, even though I have plenty of it. I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know. What would you do in a situation? The gold to silver ratio doesn't make sense to you to trade silver for gold necessarily, but you're running out of room, you're running out of space. What would you do in a situation like that? Would you choose to trade some anyway, just to reduce that bulk and get a little bit more gold in your possession? Or would you just hang out and sit on the sidelines, which I'm not necessarily a big believer in. I don't like to stay unproductive. I know right now with the premiums being so astronomically high, it's almost as though many of us have no choice but to sit on the sidelines. But I'm very curious if everybody can head on down to the comments and let me know, what would you do in a situation like that? Would you trade some silver for gold? Or would you just kick back, hang out, wait for the gold to silver ratio gap to close in? Which, by the way, it's important to remember not to necessarily wait for anything to happen without getting anything else done. Of course, you can wait for the gold to silver ratio gap to close in, but it's important to remember it's not guaranteed to close in. It's not promised. It's not a sure thing. A lot of people think that when silver goes up, that means that the gold to silver ratio gap will close. But that's not exactly what would happen if silver went up and gold went up with it. The ratio might stay exactly the same if both metals go up at an even pace potentially. So head on down to the comments and let me know, what are your thoughts on using gold to reduce the weight, reduce the bulk of the silver if you feel like you have too much of it? And have you ever traded any 40% for 90%? Again, you could trade about 7 40% half dollars for 3 90% half dollars. Again, to reduce the weight, reduce the bulk. It chops it down by almost 60%. Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic and saving room when it comes to the precious metals. And if anybody's interested in joining the Precious Metals VIP Club, it's where I can do things on my own terms, not on YouTube's terms, my terms. I'm hosting privately held live streams. They're smaller, easier to manage. I'm also doing giveaways, discounts, personalized promo codes, shout-outs, deal alerts when silver and gold is on sale on a variety of different websites. And of course, you can watch all of my videos early and commercial-free. Come join the Precious Metals VIP Club. It'll be the first link in the description. You're invited. I'd be happy to have you. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. If you guys like me, make sure to hit that subscribe button like a Karen hits a bus window. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Brand new video over there. Go check it out. The link will be in the description. Trying really hard to hit 2,000 subscribers. We just hit 1,700, and I appreciate that. And if you want to help support the channel in the biggest possible way, please consider getting yourself some DYDSS merchandise. Of course, we have some precious metal themed t-shirts and hoodies, which are up for grabs, along with a ton of other products. T-shirts, hoodies, even stickers, many of which are raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations, such as the recently released Kraken Stackin' t-shirt, hoodie, sticker, and coffee mug, inspired by the beautiful 2-ounce silver Kraken coin, which, by the way, is helping us raise a little bit of funds and awareness for ocean cleanup charity organizations at no additional cost to you. It comes out of my pocket, not yours. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know, once again, what are your thoughts on utilizing gold as a tool to reduce the weight, reduce the bulk of the stack? Have you ever done this before? Was it because the gold to silver ratio lined up perfectly to you from your perspective and in your opinion? Or did you just simply do it because you had so much silver and you needed to cut down on the amount of weight, the amount of silver in your possession, and trade it for a little bit of gold? And when it comes to 90% and 40% silver, have you ever traded 40% for 90%? If it's not something that you've ever done in the past, is that something that you could see yourself doing? Because I'm going to be honest with you, before I received that comment from Manuel, that's not something that I had ever really thought of before. Pretty interesting idea. And it doesn't just have to be 7 40% halves for 3 40% halves. It could be 70 40% halves for 30 40% halves. Or it could be 40% halves for some 90% silver dimes or quarters, if that's what you want to do. If that's how you want to mix and match it up, there's absolutely nothing wrong with diversification. When it comes to the 40%, do you have quite a bit of it? I don't believe I received a comment from anybody saying that they're all in on 40%. Not everybody is a big fan of 40%. I'm a big believer in the fact that silver is silver, so I would never turn my back on silver. But I would much rather have the 90%. 3/9's fine, the 4/9's fine. So head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.